You eat healthy, but your energy still sucks. Your workouts feel harder than they should, and you're not recovering. The reason most athletic women over 40 feel this way is not their hormones and it's not their age. They are underfueled, and most of them have no idea. In this video, I'm going to show you how underfueling disguises itself as aging and overtraining and the specific nutrition shifts that fix it. Number one, healthy eating and performance nutrition are different goals. Most nutrition advice out there is built around general health. And honestly, that's completely appropriate for most people. Most people do not need advanced nutrition strategies because they're not placing advanced demands on their body. But the moment you start training seriously, you're adding long runs, heavy lifting sessions, speed work, multiple hard sessions per week, the nutritional requirements change. This is where athletic women get blindsided because often they're still eating like someone whose goal is to simply be healthy while training like an athlete. And those are not the same nutritional strategy. A generally healthy eater will do fine with low to moderate carbs, managed portions, and minimal structure and meal planning. But once your training demands increase, none of that is enough. Now you need to care about higher total energy intake, better fuel timing, protein distribution, and hydration and electrolytes. This is the gap between healthy eating and performance nutrition. You can eat incredibly high quality food and still not eat enough to support your training load. And this is where many women accidentally start underfueling without even realizing it because they've been conditioned to think that eating clean automatically means eating appropriately, and it doesn't. And the hard part for midlife athletic women is that underfueling often disguises itself as something else entirely. But before we get to that, I've put together a free age athletically training audit with all the practical starting points from this video. You get actual numbers, not just a bunch of generic advice. The link is in the description. Grab it now because it'll make the last section of this video a lot more useful to you. Number two, underfueling and perimenopause look almost identical. This is where things get tricky because the symptoms of low energy availability overlap heavily with the symptoms women experience in perimenopause. Low energy, poor recovery, mood swings, sleep disruption, brain fog, low motivation, flat workouts, increased inflammation, and higher injury risk. Any of that sound familiar? Now, of course, midlife hormonal changes are very real, but many athletic women never bother to ask themselves, am I actually eating enough to support what I'm asking my body to do? And this is especially common in high-performing women because discipline becomes part of their identity. They're good at pushing through fatigue, good at controlling their intake, good at overriding signals, which works until it doesn't. I see this all the time. Athletic women noticing their body composition shifting in midlife, and so they start doing long training sessions fasted because they're afraid that carbs are making them fat. These are women training hard on salads and protein shakes. Women terrified of sports fuel because they spent years learning that processed food was bad. Meanwhile, their body is screaming for more energy. And the irony here is brutal. They think they're being disciplined, but the lack of fuel is often the very thing that's sabotaging their performance, their recovery, and their body composition. Because your body cannot adapt well to your training stress without sufficient energy availability. So even if you're in perimenopause, we still need to look at the whole picture to make sure that we're not making the symptoms worse by underfueling. Because advanced nutrition isn't usually about becoming more restrictive, it's about becoming more supportive. Number three, hunger is not always a reliable signal to meet energy demands. Most women rely on hunger to tell them when to eat. For general health, that works fine. For performance, it fails badly. Because once your training demands increase, your energy needs can exceed what your hunger and appetite hormones are naturally signaling. You get up early to squeeze in a run without eating. Then you get busy at work and you skip or delay a few meals. You crash hard at 2 p.m., feel exhausted by 6 p.m., you sleep poorly, wake up depleted, and then repeat the cycle. And because these women are technically eating healthy, they may never consider fueling as a problem. But serious training often requires eating proactively and strategically. It takes actual planning. Sometimes that means eating before training, even when you aren't hungry. Sometimes it means fueling during your long training sessions. Sometimes it means eating more carbohydrates than diet culture taught you to feel comfortable with. And this is important. Carbohydrates are not the enemy. They are our greatest allies. They are the primary fuel for high output athletic work, especially your speed work, interval work, heavy lifting, and longer endurance sessions. We need to tailor fuel availability to training demand and eating enough of the right things at the right time. And it's very important to point out here too that you need to train your body to take in more fuel, especially before earlier runs or during long runs. Many women can't do it at first, but part of athletic training is training your digestive system to take in the carbs and put them into circulation quickly. Number 4, advanced nutrition doesn't mean more complicated. Truly advanced athletes think less emotionally about food, not more. Food becomes practical, supportive, neutral. We're just putting gas in the car. Most women expect advanced nutrition to mean tracking everything perfectly, but that's not necessarily the case. Advanced nutrition is just consistent fundamentals done more intentionally. More consistency with protein, more structure around your fuel timing, more awareness around your hydration, better preparation around your training days, and more precision with your portion sizes. And one of the biggest mindset shifts for athletic women over 40 is realizing that wellness nutrition is not enough to constitute performance nutrition. A sports drink during a 2-hour endurance session is not the same thing as mindlessly eating ultra-processed food all day. A recovery shake after a training is not failing at clean eating. Performance nutrition is functional and intentional. And once women understand that distinction, everything starts to get easier. Your energy improves, recovery improves, your mood will stabilize, and your training quality will get better. All because you're finally adding proper support through energy availability. So if you're realizing that you might be underfueling, or if you've grabbed the Age Athletically Training audit and are realizing you need to address this area, do not go overhaul your entire diet tomorrow. Most women do not need a complete nutrition rebuild. They need a few strategic changes in the right order. So here's where I would start first. Number 1, stop training hard completely fasted, especially your interval sessions, your long endurance sessions, or your heavy lifting sessions. You do not need to eat a giant meal, but give your body something available before training. A small piece of fruit, some dry toast, a sports drink, fruit juice, half a bagel, something with easy to digest carbs. Because a shocking number of athletic women are trying to perform high output work with zero available fuel, and that will catch up to you eventually. What is the point of training if it sucks? Number 2, add some recovery nutrition after your hard sessions. This is protein plus carbohydrates soon after your training session. Now, many of us won't feel like eating right after training because hard training redirects blood flow away from your digestive organs to the muscles you're using during your training session. Give yourself a little time to cool down at the end of your session to get your nervous system down regulated to a place where blood is flowing into your digestive organs, then eat something, even if it's small. And number 3, let your hardest training days be your higher intake days. This is one of the biggest mindset shifts for athletic women because so many women try to keep their food intake perfectly consistent regardless of their training demand. But your body doesn't have the same needs on a recovery walk as it does on a 2-hour long run or an interval session or a heavy lifting day. Higher output requires more fuel, and that often means more calories, especially more carbohydrates, more fluids, and potentially even some electrolytes. Your nutrition should flex with your training demands instead of staying rigid while your output is changing constantly. And honestly, if you only change those 3 things, most women notice improvements surprisingly fast. Better workout quality, better recovery, better energy, better mood stability, less evening crash and burn, all because they finally started supporting the work they were asking their body to do. So if you have not grabbed the free Age Athletically Training audit yet, it's linked in the description below. You'll pinpoint the leaks and get action steps to correct them. To see what underfueling actually looks like in practice and what it costs you, I did a detailed breakdown of 2 real case studies in this video. One of them came in eating over 600 calories below her maintenance without knowing it. Watch how that played out and what we did about it.